lot of times when we talk about democracy today, people conflate that with voting and elections. And sure, that's part of a democracy. It's part of how you express your voice, but that's not democracy. Democracy to me is the way that we relate to one another, the way that we make decisions as a community in a way that honors everybody's needs and perspectives and preferences. And the way that you can show up for one another, for your neighbors, um, or for people who you've never met before, I think that is the experiment that American democracy is undertaking in a country as big as ours, as diverse as ours, right? We're trying to figure out how to make decisions with our neighbors when our neighbors might live 400 miles away from us. Um, and to me, I think it's so much more than voting, right? It's everything that happens in between elections too. It's that way of being with one another.
Yeah, the reason why I asked the question is I think most people don't really truly understand what's involved with democracy, and they feel like maybe they're entitled to it. They're entitled to freedoms, they're entitled to rights. And really, democracy in my mind is an engagement sport. It's a contact sport. You have to be engaged if democracy is going to flourish.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It depends on everybody showing up and having a voice and being able to use that voice.
Well, the next question is a little loaded because we talked about your definition of what democracy is. Why do you think American democracy has been so enduring? I am just blown away by how thoughtful the founders were when they started when they created this form of government. And I wonder, you know, what do you think about its endurance and how have we survived over all these years?
I think the genius of the founders was imagining the unimaginable, right? The tools for our own modernization and growth are contained within the founding documents. And the genius of writing a founding document that could adapt and contained those tools for more democracy, I think is so beautiful. It's one of the things that made me so proud to be an American growing up when I saw what my family in Morocco had and or didn't have compared to me. And I think that idea of this notion of democracy transcending just one person. It's not about the king. It's not about the president. It really is about all of us and the ways in which we have processes to make decisions, to share resources, to do something, to build something. That to me is why American democracy has endured. And of course, it's not without its scars, and there have been real moments of conflict and challenge and um, things that have been institutionalized that don't feel super democratic, right? Um, but I think always, Martin Luther King said the moral arc of the universe bends slowly, but it bends towards justice. I think about that in the sense of democracy that we're, working towards that better, more actualized form of a healthy, thriving democracy. And the other thing that I guess I would just say too is that again, like people think maybe about the federal government or the president when they think about like what a democracy is. And really, it's so much bigger than that. It's about all of the institutions that are a part of our society, civil society, the pillars that keep us connected to each other, engaged with one another, feeling like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. And so there are a lot of, businesses or social clubs or organizations that I think are really vital to a thriving democracy.